We are.
Awesome. All right, good morning, everybody. I'm Rachel Vermey, curator of exhibits here at the Ella Sharp Museum.
And I'm Harrison Marcotte, curator of collections at the Ella Sharp Museum.
And we are outside the Merriman Sharp farmhouse here at the Ella Sharp Museum, which is one of our historic buildings that we have here on site at the building. So we know a lot of you are self-distancing at home right now, and so we wanted to invite you on a little mini tour of the farmhouse to kind of show you around, tell you a little bit about what life was like in the mid-1800s for Ella and her family. So we're gonna go on side because it's a little chilly and windy out right now, so come on in behind me. So we're not going to tour you through the whole house today, but we are going to show you some things from the collections and different rooms and activities that the family liked to do together when they were at home. So Ella was born in 1857 and lived here for most of her life up until 1912. This was a big farm. They had over 500 acres that they managed. And she grew up here with her younger brothers, her parents, and so this was a pretty active and busy household. This was also a time period that they didn't have running water, indoor plumbing, electricity, a lot of the modern amenities that we are familiar with today. So we wanted to show you a little bit about what their life was like, what type of activities they were doing for fun as a family, and also practicing creativity and entertainment. So we're going to walk back here to the library to show you a little bit about what that was like. Alrighty, so we are in the library of the home, which you can imagine would be a great space to do a lot of the work that went along with keeping up with the farm, such as, ordering things from catalogs, researching with all the books that are out, and just maintaining a business that was this big, giant farm that they operated. But you'll also see a lot of artwork throughout the house, and we have some pulled in here because one of the things that the family had in common was just a love for creativity and a love for creating art together, and also collecting art and displaying it in their homes. And you might be at home working on a lot of art projects, and that might be something that you need a little bit of inspiration for. So we pulled a couple of pieces from the collection that we wanted to show off because they're pretty cool, and it's just something that is kind of inspiring. So the first thing I want to show you is this watercolor painting. And you can see, if there's not too much of a glare, there is a horse, and it's a horse-drawn carriage. And this was painted by Howard Merriman, so that's Ella's youngest brother. And they actually had horses here on the farm, so this is, something that he easily could have gotten inspiration from as he was, doing his daily work on the farm. And he loved horses, so he was definitely really interested in them. But he actually got his inspiration from this advertisement. And we have this in our collection as well, and I'm going to step out of it so I'm not in the reflection. But this was an advertisement for the Vacuum Oil Company from 1881 is when this advertisement went out. And you can definitely see the similarities of this ad and Howard's painting. It's just kind of cool to see that he was using just daily inspiration from different ads that he saw and painted something from that. So some of the other family members like to paint and create artwork as well. Of course, needlework, quilting, different activities like that were really common, especially for women because they were at home, they were trying to be productive and make different things that were useful as well. But they also enjoyed doing a lot of just fun paintings. So one of the ones that I'm going to tip up and show you, hopefully up close, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. This is a painting by Mary Merriman, and that is Ella's mother. And you can see it's just a really lovely oil painting that she did of a couple of leaves. Maybe she found them outside on a walk. Definitely just clearly inspired by some of the really pretty colors. And she actually entered this in the county fair in 1871 and won a blue ribbon for it, which is pretty cool. So a lot of other popular things that you see around this time period during like the Civil War era and stretching all the way up to the turn of the century. It's just a big push and inspiration and love for nature in artwork. And this is something that a lot of people were inspired by and started to add to their pieces or collect for their homes. So these are a couple pieces that the family didn't do, but is part of our collection from the same time period. And you can see this one is actually made out of feathers. So using feathers that came from real birds and then painted in the background is a little twig and branch that they're on. So just kind of using items found in nature to be inspired about, as well as another piece. Wreaths were really popular during this time period, and they're kind of in the shadow box style. And you can see this one is made of seeds, beans, kind of just everyday items that may have been found around the farm or left over from different products that they'd be making food with. So definitely just inspired by kind of everyday common objects that you'd find around your home. So we have created a couple coloring sheets from a couple of the pieces. So we'll post these in the comments and you can download them, and we'd love to have you try them out, color them, or just create your own pieces. Be inspired by the world around you and try to create something different. But we're gonna walk over into the parlor here, and we'll let Harrison take over.
So, aside from art, the Merriman family was very musical. We know that Mary, Ella's mom, brought her piano from New York. We know that Ella and her brother Tracy took music lessons throughout their lives at different points. Tracy maybe only for a few months. But music nowadays is something we kind of think of as an on-demand thing that we can have whenever we want. But in the 19th century, sound recording was just getting its start. The phonograph that we're all accustomed to seeing, that really isn't coming into existence until Ella's maybe in her 30s. So if you wanted music, you'd have to get it directly from the source. That being, you'd have to sing it yourself, play it yourself, or someone you'd have to see it you have to get it directly from seeing someone play it. So, pianos like this kind of became a social fixture in, the family environment, a place where people would gather around, because so music became kind of like a much more communal, social thing. I know a lot of you probably play instruments. Obviously, it's still a common thing. We are going to be posting sheet music from the period. It's going to be Irish, so topical, because it was just St. Patrick's Day. So we're going to invite you to maybe try it out. If you can read sheet music, post a video of yourself playing it, even if it's bad. In fact, especially if it's bad, because it'll be really funny. So you should totally do that. We also know that, a lot of families, social gatherings, we know this from especially Ella's family in their journals, that they played a lot of parlor games. We call them parlor games, but they're really no different from the stuff that we kind of do indoors with friends already. Stuff like 20 questions. They played that. Wink Murder. The Minister's Cat. I'm sure all of you play the Minister's Cat. Well, maybe we'll post the rules. It's really fun. It's pretty cool. Hide and seek. We have diary entries of pillow fights, which I know everyone's probably doing right now. We also played a fair amount of board games. Board games have been around forever. This is a handmade checkerboard. Everyone knows checkers. But if you don't have a checkerboard, you can build your own really easily. All you need is cardboard, some markers, and maybe some coins, walnuts, or something like that. We know that they also play card games. Actually, we have a lot of references to the game euchre, and we know that the Merrimans played euchre a lot and loved it. Loved to play it with their friends and among each other. That might sound familiar to a lot of you. It was one of the more popular card games in the 19th century. Now it's kind of fallen off a little bit in popularity, but especially in the Midwest, Michigan, Wisconsin, it's still played really, really heavily. It's actually my favorite card game still. I play it pretty often. I just played it last week actually. We are going to actually be posting the rules for euchre and kind of like a basic how to get started guide. All you need is a standard deck of cards and 4 people. So yeah, keep your eye out on our social media and our website for the rules. Try it out. Or if you have any other games that you guys are playing right now, feel free to drop it in the comments, let us know. Something similar, cards or really otherwise.
Yeah, so I think we're actually going to play a game of euchre. Sounds like a lot of fun. So thanks again for watching and joining us on this mini tour. If you have any ideas or suggestions, things you really want to see, please let us know. We'd love to bring that to you at home. And like we said, we're going to post some of those coloring pages, some sheet music if you're a musician and want to give your hand at playing that for us, and rules for euchre. And let us know what other activities and games that you're playing at home. We'd love to hear from you. So wish us luck on this game.
Bye.
Bye.